from here. Take me home, cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen to my song. So let's go back to where it began and where it all started from. Take this chance, one last dance, cause I've been waiting way too long. Take my hand, I wanna show you something. Promise I've been dying to see ya. They say the grass ain't always greener. I guess what they're saying is true. In my dreams, that's where I seen her. Take my heart and take all of me, girl. Let me show you what I wanna do. I wanna spend the rest of my life with you. Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Are you listening, darling? Look where we started. Breaking in half, left us broken hearted. So where do we go from here? Where do we go from here? Yeah.
Yes, hello and welcome back everybody to another live stream. So of course it is a new week and very almost a new month as well. So it is Monday the 30th of September, as I'm sure you are all aware. But we of course, as you can tell, I guess by the title and the thumbnail, and what's on my screen right now, I am in a short trade, right? I have taken the short trade that we have planned for quite some time now. I know that I did previously take a short trade before this. In my opinion, a little bit of an early short trade. Again, it was like I didn't want to stay up till 1 o'clock in the morning, so I thought I'd just take the trade a little bit earlier. The risk management on the trade was really nice. The invalidation was really nice and tight, which is what I like. But in a nice trade now. This is the setup that we were waiting for. So of course, we're going to walk through the setup. We're going to talk about why I've taken the trade, why I think this looks good. And then, of course, anything else that we can look for in the future. So, if that does sound interesting, please do smash that thumbs up button. Helps me out, helps the channel out, and I can continue to bring this content to you. And, of course, if you're new, please do smash that subscribe button as well and turn that bell notification on. But enough of that. Let's jump into the charts. Let's take a look at what is, going on. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to... where are we? It's just 2 6. Okay, perfect. So jumping straight on into it then. This morning, I woke up, and I noticed that we were, getting a bit of a pullback. Okay, we were forming that failed auction, right? That we were, that we've been looking for quite some time. So this morning at 9:02 a.m., I took the short trade, as you can see here on the Discord. Told the team, just took that short trade. Approximately $64,500. That's when I took the short trade. And we have, ever since then, we have seen a little bit of a pullback, as you can see right now. Now, if you are not familiar with why I have entered into this trade, then of course I will cover it. I covered it with the team this morning in the daily market updates. But I will cover it here for you as well. So briefly, right, we understand, Bitcoin is in bearish structure. Okay, Bitcoin is in bearish structure. So technically, right, shorts are favorable at this moment in time, right? Now, a little bit more locally, right? Let's just move the exchange out of the way. A little bit more locally, right? Okay, we're starting to form some higher time frame bullish structure, which we haven't formed in quite a long time, right? To be perfectly honest with you, we haven't formed this in quite a long time. So this is nice to see. This is good to see, right? But even with a bullish market structure, what do we get? Okay, we get pullbacks, right? We do get pullbacks within bullish market structure. So however this trade plays out, whether it's still bearish structure that we're in and we're going to go for a new low, great. Okay, if it's bullish structure, which is price is going to pull back, we're going to form a higher low, and then we're going to go for another higher high. Great, fine. Okay, it doesn't really matter. All we are looking for, is the trade setups. That's all we're looking for, right? And that's exactly what we got here. So I've been talking for quite some time now about this, right? We had some really nice naked points of control up here. We had two of them. We only tapped one of them, right? We had two of them that I was interested in, right? These are naked points of control that I am interested in. And I'll get on to, naked points of controls that I'm not really interested in. But initially, right? We had this daily naked point of control at 66,325. Okay. And that was coming in close confluence with this like major pivot point in my opinion. Okay, so this is like a major pivot point where of course we're going to have a lot of liquidity resting there, a lot of liquidity sat there. So for me, yeah, this is some really nice confluence, a nice naked point of control with a nice pivot point that most definitely has high liquidity at the level, right? And at the same time, we're also seeing a fair few longs open up. Now, I was talking to the team this morning about this and saying, okay, right, yeah, we're getting longs open up. Are they as many as we had here and here and here? Not really, okay, but we do still have quite a few longs, right? At the top. Okay, we did have, in one candle, we had 60 million new long trades open up, right? So there's still quite a lot. And this is, again, on Bybit alone, right? This is just on Bybit. So not all of the exchanges combined, okay? This is just Bybit. So there was 60 million in one of these green candles up here, right? So, that in itself is a lot, right? That in itself is a lot. So there was, reasoning, right? We had resistance with a naked point of control. We got a lot of liquidity up here, right? We do have a lot of longs that have opened up. Okay, so that gives us reason for price to pull back because, of course, we can look for a long squeeze, right? And then all it was really, and that's kind of what we got this morning, was of course that trade entry trigger with that failed auction. Okay, and ever since we got that, of course, that for me was the short trade setup. Okay, and after that we've pretty much seen just non-stop price action down over the course of today. It's slowly making its way down, not really seeing any upside other than a little bit of a recovery before another move down. Okay, so that's kind of. Yeah, as you can see here, right? This is kind of what it's, a bit of consolidation here, down, bit of a recovery, down, bit of a recovery. Where are we going to go now? Possibly down. We'll see, right? But for me, this is looking good, right? This is looking good, right? The trade for me was perfect. Okay, the trade for me was perfect. This is, one of my favorite types of trades. To be perfectly honest with you, so. We've got naked point of control, we've got liquidity, we've got failed auction, right? We have long trades open up. This is one of my favorite trades. Okay, now again, this is a game of probabilities, right? This trade could end up being a losing trade. I haven't actually taken any profit. Well, I did take a tiny bit of profit, but that was not on purpose. I was just trying to test something out, to be honest with you, I just tested it out with taking a slight bit of profit. To be honest with you, I was testing the what you call it, the trailing stop. That's what I was testing. I was just having a little play with that. So I haven't actually taken a TP1 on this yet. Still quite happy in this trade. Quite happy to not take a TP1 here. Risk management wise, if I were to take a TP1 here, it would be pretty terrible from a risk management standpoint. So for me, I need to look for a little bit lower to take a TP1. It's not really a TP1 for me because if you're looking at the risk to reward taking a TP1 here, it is pretty terrible. So it's 1 to 0.71. So that's a terrible risk to reward. I'm not looking to take a TP1 here. Okay, so I'll be looking to take a TP1 at lower prices, of course. So still patient, still happy to sit on this trade, still happy to wait and see if we do get those lower prices. Again, this is a game of probabilities, right? We could see price reverse in the opposite direction. We could see higher prices, maybe get a short trade from higher prices. On a probability standpoint, okay, this is a trade that I love to take because I understand that my probabilities, the probabilities are in my favor. Okay, but again, it is just probabilities. That's what we have to remember. So this is good, really good. Love the setup. Looking for that pullback now. That's initially what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that pullback, and just to get onto the naked points of control that I like trading and the naked points of control I don't like trading. This naked point of control I really liked. Why? Because it was in fairly close confluence with a level that I was interested in trading. Okay, so it's kind of like a zone that we're looking at, and that's kind of kind of the level that I was interested in. Yeah, looking for that short trade, of course. When we come down and look at $60,400, right, this naked point of control here, I'm not really interested in trading this naked point of control. Right, I've got it on the chart. I'm aware of it, but I'm not really interested in it. The reason why I've got it on the chart and I'm aware of it is because there is still that possibility, right? That it's still support, right? So there is that still that possibility that we pull back to it and we get a little bounce off of it. Okay, so yeah, for me, looking at this is probably like quite a good TP point to be perfectly frank with you. But yeah, this is not a naked point of control I would be interested in trading because there's just no confluence there. I don't see any kind of confluence there. Like the only thing that you can really maybe gather from this, but I'm not even too sure because I haven't looked at it. You've got value area high, POC kind of in the vicinity, but yeah, not really too interested to be perfectly honest with you. It's just, yeah, confluence there for me just isn't that great. However, below that, we've got 56,425. Okay, this is a naked point of control that I am interested in trading. Okay, this is where I'm looking to possibly take a long trade. Okay, and you may think, right, this looks like a bit of a random naked point of control, right? Which, yeah, you're not wrong. Okay, it is a bit of a random naked point of control until you start pulling some. Some other analysis to help you. So of course we've got a GP786, right? So that that naked point of control is slap bang in the middle of the golden pocket and the 786, right? So this is a really, really nice bit of confluence. But again, right, GP 786 levels, I'm not really too interested in trading them unless we get absorption, okay? And yeah, for just to give you a bit of a reference, right, the previous long trade, okay, I didn't take it, but the previous long trade that was presented to us. I was asleep when it presented itself to us, but the previous long trade that presented itself to us was, of course, the long trade from down here. Okay, and remember, right, the chart's going to get a little bit messy now, but let's just clear that off for now. Then, but this was the same setup that we're kind of looking at there, right? We had a naked point of control at 52,874. I've changed it to white. Okay, we came down, perfectly tapped the naked point of control, came to the area of the GP and the 786, right? And we had bullish absorption, right? What do I mean by that? Well, if we head over to XO charts, give it a bit of a refresh, make sure we're all up to scratch. And then we have a bit of a zoom out here. Okay, where are we? So we're here, right? So here, this is what we're looking at, right? This is price pulling back into that white naked point of control that I was just talking about. Okay, here. Now, what has happened, right? Price has pulled back into it, okay, and is forming a higher high, right? This is, looking quite good, right? This is looking quite bullish. This is, what we can kind of class as bullish structure when we have a higher low. But then you take a look at the CVD, okay, and you can see we're actually getting lower lows. Okay, we're getting lower lows rather than higher lows. So this is telling us there's more aggressive sells, more aggressive shorts happening in this pullback than there is in this pullback. However, price is actually looking bullish because it's got higher lows, right? So this tells us that there's a big player, okay, or big players absorbing all of the sells, all of the shorts in the market here, okay. And what tends to happen is we see price reverse in the opposite direction, and that's exactly what happened, right? So for me, and kind of like my plan at this moment in time, right? My plan is, okay, I'm in the short trade here. I'm looking for lower prices. Doesn't mean I'm extremely bearish on Bitcoin. Doesn't mean I'm looking for sub 50K. No. Okay. This just means, right, okay, I'm looking down towards $56,400. Okay. Could we go sub 50K? Yes, right. It's a possibility. Okay. But, right, probabilities are saying if we pull back to kind of this area here, right? If we pull back to this area here, right, the GP786 that we have there as well, right? Where are we? We need to pull this here. Okay, if we pull back to this area and we form absorption like we had last time, okay, here, okay, if we form the same thing, right, we have absorption occurring there, then for me, right, on a probabilities basis, right, we're looking for higher prices, okay? We are looking for higher prices off of this level. So yeah, for me, it's again going back to what I started off with, which was okay, bearish structure here, but what are we doing now? We're starting to form a little bit more higher time frame bullish structure, right? So yeah, I'm in a short trade. Does it mean I'm extremely bearish? No, okay, because what we can be looking for is price to pull back, looking into this area here for a long trade to then, of course, take that up to a higher high, continuing that bullish structure, right? So yeah, I'm short trade. Am I extremely bearish? No, I'm kind of just looking for a little bit of a pullback for then possibly a continuation higher. Now, of course, let's say, right, we get the pullback. Okay, let's say we do get the pullback and then we come down to this area. Maybe we're not looking bullish down here. Maybe we're not showing any signs of absorption. We're not getting bullish CVD. Okay, what could that mean? Right, well, that could mean that price can continue lower. Right, probabilities say that we don't have to bounce off of here. Okay, and we can actually continue this move down. That is still a possibility, and then that could take us 50k. Right, that's a possibility. So yeah, for me, that's kind of my plan. Right, I'm in the short trade. Right, I'm trading my plan now. Okay, I'm trading my plan. I'm in it. Okay, so I'm looking for lower. Right, then from here we look for the long trade for a higher high. Okay, which would be absolutely amazing. Okay, that would be absolutely amazing. But if we do not get the long trade here, fine, we take the short lower. Okay, we can continue to profit as price moves back because we're in that short trade, of course, right? And you know, like I say a lot of the time as well, I don't like to close my whole position. Or I don't like to close my whole position. I like to leave sometimes, you know, and this is kind of at the max, right? I would like to leave like 20% of the initial 100% capital I invested into the trade. I like to leave 20% in to see if we can continue to move. Okay, and that's on an extreme basis. You know, maybe sometimes I'll leave 5% or 10% depending on how confident I am on a continuation. It depends, right? But yeah, it's looking good, and I know I can see Damien in the chat as well. Good to see. We'll read your comment in a second. But yeah, Damien as well. He has yeah taken a bit of a different strategy. Of course, everybody has their own analysis, right? And I know that he's looking at the bullish shark as well, which yeah, personally I don't look at, but it's really nice to see when the analysis lines up, of course. But of course, he was. I think he took more. You took a bit more of a laddered entry into, from what I can remember, you were saying layered short. Yeah, so you kind of like laddering into it. I believe so. Yeah, Damien, of course. Yeah, looking for the short. Well, took the short from up here as well. So yeah, really nice to see there as well. Having an aggressive entry gives my risk to reward of 8 to 1 to 8.83 to 24. Sorry, let me have a. Oh, I can't see the risk to reward. To 24 risk reward, almost a risk-free trade. Absolutely amazing to see. So yeah, congratulations on that. It looks like you possibly already hit a TP or close to hitting the TP1 already, which is really nice to see. I mean, you know, this is like a bit of a different style, and it's not really a style that I, you know, it's not really how I trade. And again, it's like everybody's different. Everybody has their same style. What works for me may not work for you, and what works for the next person may not work for me. Right? It's yeah, whatever works for you. And for me, I consider myself an aggressive trader, but not like a super aggressive trader. So I won't long or short at the level. I'll wait for a little bit of confirmation. And I mean just a little bit, you know, it's mainly like the trade entry trigger. But, you know, with a lot of people out there, they wait in what I believe is too much confluence. Okay, maybe it works for them, but yeah, I wait for just a little bit of confluence. Some people wait for too much confluence, right? Where they're looking for like a market structure shift. And you know, if I waited for that market structure shift on this trade here, I'd probably be entering into the trade now. So I've got a bit of a better entry. So it's all different, you know. It's like, again, with the aggressive entry, right? Okay, you get in a really good entry. Okay, really good entry, and your stop loss tends to be quite tight as well. So the risk to reward on it is quite good. And I mean, you know, I've traded in this style before as well. I will say that I did take, and this is again just personal experience. It's different for everyone. I did take more losses when I was trading more aggressively, but then the losses tended to be smaller as well. So it does kind of level itself out, right? Because your losses are smaller, you are taking more losses, just because you're not waiting for that like bit of confirmation, right? You're kind of just you're kind of anticipating it to happen at the level, right? You're anticipating it when price is at the level, which in my eyes, sometimes you don't always get all of the information that you want, but again, it's something I've done in the past, and it works, right? It does work, but again, you're taking more losses, but their losses are smaller. Okay, so now I take less losses, but my losses are a little bit bigger. So you can see how that just kind of like evens itself out, right? So yeah, it's just like different styles, whatever people prefer. To be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, it's nice to see you there, Damien. Taking that, the AJ Pool trade the plan and execute it. I always try to execute my plan too aggressively sometimes, but it paid off this time. My invalidation was so close to the shark being invalidated. Yeah. So again, it's being aggressive is not a bad thing. Okay, it's not a bad thing. If it works, right? You've got to be. It's hard. I found it a little bit harder to take the more aggressive approach, but yeah, it's still possible to take more aggressive approach. I think you just have to. You probably just have to be a little bit more, picky on the trades you take. I haven't aggressively, like super aggressively traded in quite a long time now. I'd say about a year. For the past year, I've been taking like what I would call the aggressive trade, not the super aggressive trade, right? So I mean, it's something that you have to kind of get used to, right? You have to get used to, and you have to learn. You have to educate yourself on what aggressive trades you should take, and kind of like when as well, when to take the aggressive trade, right? Because it's like, for example, here we had a naked point of control above a naked point of control. So it's like, as price is coming up, right? Okay, are we going to reject off of this naked point of control, or are we going to come up to the next one and actually reject off of that? So again, like what Damien's done as well, where he's like laddered in or layered in to the trade. That's another thing that with aggressive trading is quite a good thing, right? What I used to do was I would have my smaller entries at the lower levels that I'm interested in getting in at. The lower entries at those. Again, as price gets higher, I'd kind of size up that position. That's how I used to do it. Again, I don't do that anymore. But that's how I used to do it, and it did work. It did work, but I just found myself catching a little bit more losses. But again, like the invalidation was a little bit tighter, to be honest with you. So it was leveling itself out. But now my preferred style of like trade entries is kind of getting that trade entry trigger and then just setting it. It's like the previous short trade that I had, right? Here. So the previous short trade here. So the previous short trade I had was from $64,700. So only a little bit above where I've entered now. Okay, only a little bit above where I've entered now. And I mean, I could have just held that trade open, and then just kind of been a bit more patient. But again, right, this is like my preferred style now, where I'll just have a set entry, set stop loss. And if that gets stopped out, fine. If there's a re-entry, fine. I just re-enter. It's just kind of like my preferred way to do it now. But everyone's different. Everyone has their own style, and it's whatever works for you. Jamie Rogers, good to see you back, my friend. Good to see you back. I hope you're doing okay. 100%. You need to be picky. Like, I missed the short at 65. Hence, I was waiting for my plan at 67k. Sometimes I don't take it as the plan didn't line up exactly. That's exactly it. And I mean, like, what I say, I say quite a lot here as well, is do not be influenced by anybody, even like myself as well. Like whatever I say, if you have a strategy, okay, you have of course back tested it, taken statistics on it, and you are confident in that strategy. Do not let anybody deter you from taking that trade, or not. I'm not. I was going to say force, but that's the complete wrong word. But like kind of convince you to enter into a trade, right? You've got to trade your plan, right? You've got to trade your plan, and yeah, you've got to not be influenced by other people. It's a really really important thing. Again, like Damien here, 65. So I'm guessing, yeah, this the short trade that I took at 65. I think it was. Well, I didn't actually take it at 65. Let's have a look at the previous short trade here. Have I got a link to it? The short is all closed here. Taking a small head short against the long. So the short. Okay, so yeah, this was. Yeah, you were looking. Yeah, I remember now. Okay, so you were looking at this 65 level as well. Again, I waited patiently for the aggressive trade, not the super aggressive trade, and I took the short at 62,380. Okay, that's where I took the short, and of course my stop loss was 65,175 on that short trade, and I mean. Again, I remember you talking about that $65,000 level, and I took the short trade from there. Of course, right? You've not taken the short trade there, but what you have to take away from that is, okay, you haven't given into like FOMO. Okay, you haven't entered into that trade out of FOMO. You've decided, okay, I'm waiting for my next level, which of course was $67,000, and that's great. Again, of course, it's paid off for you now. It's again, trade your plan. Don't be influenced by other people. And again, like I share my plan. Okay, I share what I'm looking for, but it's kind of down to you as well, that you need to go and do your own research on it, and you need to find a reason why you're taking the trade. It's not, okay, he's taking this trade, so I need to take this trade. That's now, like it just shouldn't be looked at it like that. It should be, okay, this is what he's doing, that's why he's doing it. Okay, let's look at what he's looking at. Okay, and then maybe let's look at things that I look at as well that he doesn't look at. Okay, and let's see if it's all aligning. Right, that's kind of how it should work. Right, it's not, okay, he's taking the short, so I have to take the short. Right, it's you have to use your own initiative as well. You have to use your own brain. You have to have a reason for price to move. Okay, if you do not have a reason, then you shouldn't really take the trade. Okay, and again, the reason should not be he's taking a trade, so I need to take a trade. Okay, you need to look into it yourself. And again, like Damien's perfectly presented it there. He hasn't taken the short at 65. Okay, he had probably a million opportunities to take the short trade. Okay, but he hasn't. Why? Because that's FOMO, right? If you didn't get in at the level that you wanted to get in, right, that's it. Okay, wait for the next one. I do that all of the time. Okay, I do that all of the time. Right, if I miss a trade, again, example here. I had this long trade that I was planning. I was interested in. I missed it. Right, I was asleep. Fine, I could have entered here. Fine, yeah. Right, but then it's kind of, okay, I'm FOMOing into the trade here. Okay, and if it doesn't go my way, okay, because again, this is a game of probabilities, right? I don't know what's going to happen here. I know probabilities are saying higher, right? But I don't know what's going to happen. So if I enter here, okay, then I could be, of course, one of those FOMO longs, right? FOMO longs that could possibly get stopped out, right? If price starts to pull back. And I do not want to be that person. Okay, I do not want to be that person, because that's what got me completely obliterated. Got three accounts obliterated over 2 years ago now. Okay, 2 years, little over 2 years ago. Okay, because I was FOMOing into trades, right? I wasn't having and I was being influenced by other people. I wasn't having a proper plan. So yeah, again, do not let anybody influence. Have a reason for it. And again, when I say a reason for price to move, okay, it's not because we've broken out of a level, we've broken out of a triangle, broken out of a head and shoulders, right? It's got to be a valid reason for price to move, right? There are reasons for price moving, and it's not because we break out of this, we break out of that, we break down of this, we break down of that, okay? Because RSI is diverging, right? None of that nonsense. That's not a reason, okay, for price moving. All of these things are lagging, okay? All of these things are lagging. Even a breakout trade, right? Breakout traders, they are lagging traders, right? They are FOMO. Again, the majority of the time, breakout traders enter a trade. I am already in a very, very profitable trade, okay, in the same direction, right? We're looking at the same direction, okay? And what tends to happen with the breakout traders is that they get wrecked, okay, and then I'm actually looking at a trade in the opposite direction as they're getting wrecked, okay? Normally a hedged trade, okay? So very, very important thing to think about, right? Very important thing to think about. So yeah, for me, FOMO never a good thing, right? So yeah, that's really good that you've got the patience for that. Again, I feel like I showed my patience as well when I missed this long trade here. It's annoying. I wish I took that. I wish I had that long trade in, but it's fine. Okay, I know there's another trade coming. We've got the trade now. Okay, let's just see how this plays out. 60k max, Castro Snippet. Good to see you here, my friend. I don't believe I've seen you here before. So 60k max. So are you saying 60k max to the downside? That's a possibility. I'm kind of looking at a TP1 at around $60,400. But yeah, if we are to come down here to 60k, I would be looking for a little bit lower. I'd be looking for like 56,432 personally. Again, we may not see that, right? But we could come down to 60k, and of course, we've got support there. We could see a bounce, right? But yeah, I'd prefer to see a little bit lower, and then I'd look for the long trade down there. But we'll see, right? We will see. $60,400. That's where I'd kind of like to take a TP1 on this trade, possibly, maybe a little bit. We'll see what's going on, but yeah, that's kind of like the first TP1 I'm looking at this moment in time. Of course, I'm just monitoring price at all times, really, whilst I'm in the trade. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. There is support just above 60k, so you might not be wrong. Good thing is that if you are picky with strong risk to reward, and when you see 70 million longs at RR and it's at significant level, you have to lose 8 times for you to break even. Yeah, that's a great way to put it, to be honest with you. Or increase longs at significant levels. 90% of the time, price pulls back significantly past 6 months, especially on Bitcoin. So yeah, I didn't actually. Price pulls back significantly past 6 months, especially on Bitcoin. That's interesting. Yeah, I don't really, I don't really look in terms of months, to be honest with you, where price goes in terms of months. Again, I've got my, crypto. Stripping back to the basics, right? Crypto, I like it, right? Bitcoin, I like it, right? I believe in it. Okay. I know, or I believe I know where it can go in the future. So yeah, I've got HODL portfolios, but yeah, again, I just don't really care where price goes. Yeah, I just don't really care where price goes in the next 6 months, to be honest with you, because yeah, I know where. Sorry, I know where I'm looking for it to go in 5 years, 10 years time, right? That's kind of like my plan, right? My plan is 5-10 years in the future. I could withdraw what I have in my HODL portfolio, and I could probably, live quite a nice life, right? But I'm looking again for 5, 10 years in the future, right? That's my plan. I'm willing to sacrifice things that I kind of want now to have things that maybe I didn't think I could ever have in 5 to 10 years in the future. So I know that, but um, I focus on lower time frames now. Well, you say lower time frames, but yeah, I'm looking at the 8 hour here, and just trading. This is kind of like the day job, and then of course I've got those long term investments. This is past 6 months when you get the back test, your current strategy, not the future. Oh, okay, I see. I see. Yeah, 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 yeah. Sorry. Past 6 months. Yeah, yeah, I see. Sorry. Yeah, that's a very it's a very important thing. So back testing is a very, very important thing. Um, and yeah, doing it over a six month period, it's good. It all depends on, again, like you have to constantly, in my opinion, you have to constantly back test every couple months. Okay, I personally I don't do that. Why? Because I've done this for I've used this strategy for almost 2 years now. Okay, flawlessly. Right, and like I've been using this strategy for 2 years probably, but flawlessly. Actually consistently making profits. It's not been quite 2 years yet. So I'm very confident in this, and I don't have to go back and back test. But if you're trading different things, then yeah, and you maybe testing new things as well. It's always good to constantly back test, maybe each month or every 2 months or something, because a 6 month period. Okay, yeah, it's a long time, but yeah, things can change over that 6 month period, right? So yeah, it's still again very important. Back testing is very, very important thing. Even if you I still do back test till this day, not as often as I should. I admit that, but I do still back test till this day. And again, like I've said before as well. There's no strategy out there that's going to give you consistent 90% win rate, consistent 80% win rate, consistent 60% win rate, whatever you're looking for. You're not going to have that. It's always going to vary. Okay, in a year, right? And if you split the year into two periods, okay, the first half, the second half, so 2 6 months periods, okay, I guarantee you that the strategy that I use, right, I'm going to have a different win rate from the first half to the second half, and like, let's say we put it in quarters as well, right? My win rate is going to be different from the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. I could probably if I find some time, I could probably work that out and see. But yeah, I can tell you now, it's going to be very, very different, right? The markets are always, of course, they're always changing, right? So yeah, you're never gonna. If anyone says they can get you a strategy that consistently gives you 80% win rate, I just do not believe in that. I do not believe they are telling you the truth. Because yeah, of course, it all depends on the time perspective as well. But there's some months where I've had a 100% win rate. There's some months where I've had a 90% win rate. There's some months where I've had a 70% win rate. Okay, 80%, 70%. It varies, right? And there are some months, and you could probably go, if you're in the Discord. Okay, you could probably go back and you can find some months where I've had a 100% win rate. Doesn't mean that I have a strategy that is 100% profitable. Absolutely not. It just means that during that month it worked flawlessly. Okay, or again, like it could be a bit of luck as well, right? Maybe I guess I don't know, but yeah, it could be a bit of luck where you've taken every single trade that you possibly could and they've all been winning trades, but then there's one trade that you didn't take because maybe you were busy, you were asleep or something, and then that ended up being a loser. So that's where luck comes into it a little bit. But yeah, there are some months that I have recorded a 100% win rate. Again, doesn't mean that my strategy is 100% profitable. Absolutely not. It just means in that time period it was very, very successful. Again, like flawless. So yeah, it's all perspective. It's all time frame based. It's it's lots of things to consider with it. I'm in a scalp long right now on the 1 to 5 minute time frame. My entry is 63,050. What do you think? Oh, sorry, 63,350. Let's have a look. Again, I'm not a scalp trader. I tried it. I've tried it before, and it just wasn't my cup of tea. So I never ended up taking it. And I can actually tell you now, it's probably not a bad idea. It's not a bad idea. So I see possibly why you've entered into this long trade. Okay, so I'm looking here at a bit of a failed auction of this local low. Okay, so this is 60. If I was scalping this, that's kind of where I'd be looking to enter as well. So 63,325. What if you got 63,350? Pretty much the same. It's not a bad idea. And the reason why I say it's not a bad idea is because if we take a look at exo charts, and I haven't looked at this on the lower time frame, so I don't completely know. But let's just see. Let's just have a look. Because I did notice earlier there were some short trades opening up. So then there's a reason for price to rise. Okay, so we've got it here. So we've got 1 million long trades here, 200K there. We've got 300K. We've got 1 million. 670K. We've got 1 million there. 400K. I thought there was a bit more, to be honest with you, but let's have a look on a bit of a higher time frame, actually. So yeah, I mean, it's not a bad idea because there are shorts, as you can see here, 16 million, 6 million. So there are shorts that have opened up on this move down, which, in theory, I wouldn't really like to see that. I wouldn't have liked to see that. It's not a get out of the trade scenario for me, but preferably I wouldn't have liked to see that because, okay, right now we've got 20, we've got 22 million short trades that have opened up here. So if price is going to rise and we start to put these traders offside underwater, they're going to get a little bit, a bit emotional, which could then lead them to cover, which of course would be to buy back into the market, which would push price higher. So there is a reason for price to rise, to be honest with you. There is a reason. Not a huge reason, okay, but there is a reason. And we could possibly see that. So I mean it's playing out for you at this moment in time. Sorry, I've just seen that apparently my mic is lagging a little bit. I don't think I've had that issue before, to be honest with you. I understand that that's going to be really annoying because I've witnessed that before, so that's really frustrating. But I'll end it soon. So hopefully I'll get that sorted for tomorrow. But I do apologize for that. But there is a reason for price to rise. So I don't think that's a bad idea, to be honest. I don't think that long is a bad idea. I think there is a reason for price to rise off of that level. So I I think that's not a bad long trade, to be honest with you. Again, like you're looking on the smaller time frame, so yeah, it's a scalp trade. You have to remember that. So yeah, you want to be looking for a TP1 early, right? So you don't want to be, looking to take this trade up to $67,000 because that's when you're getting a bit greedy. Okay, remember what you entered into this trade as. You entered it into a scalp trade. So yeah, that's something that you have to be aware of. Usually, one strategy works decent for a year or two, then meta changes, like the SFP, just less powerful after being abused by too many people. Exactly. The SFP, I can't actually remember the last SFP trade I took, to be perfectly honest with you. Reason being, too many people abuse it. Exactly like Damien said right there. Too many people abuse it. And now it's kind of like the failed auction, which is, we're seeing all of the time. So yeah, that's something that is very, very true. It's a demand zone area now, possible reversal now. So yeah, for me, higher time frame. Yeah, I saw your comment. Yeah, yeah. Sorry about that. There's nothing. There's just nothing I can really do about it, to be honest with you, at this moment in time. I don't know what I can do about it other than restarting the stream. But yeah, there's no point of doing that now. Yeah, I did have a little check on my phone, and I did see. Hopefully, I'll have it all sorted for tomorrow. I do apologize for this. I don't believe that's happened before. But yeah, if this ever happens, please do let me know. But yeah, again, there's a reason for price to rise. I think it's not a bad idea. But again, we've got to remember that you've got to remember what you've entered into that trade as, and like you stated, a scalp trade. So yeah, don't. In my opinion anyway, it's like, okay, I'm not looking to take this trade up to $67,000 because it is a lower time frame trade. In terms of demand zone, not something I would usually consider looking at. So I won't cover it because I just don't use it. But yeah, higher time frame, I think. Yeah, we're still in this kind of like bullish structure here. I know if we've got a bit of a range here. If you pull a fixture in, there's going to be support here. I do understand that. So yeah, it's kind of just like we'll see what happens. But yeah, maybe we could see a bit of a rise up before then continuation lower. We'll have to see. But yeah, where I'm sat right is, I'm happy in this short trade. I'm happy there's a reason for price to pull back, and I don't think it's a bad idea that price pulls back. I think we can pull back, we can get a long trade from lower to look for higher prices. Yeah, those 22 million shorts on the increase in open interest is something to watch. Exactly. Yeah, there's something to be a little bit aware of. It doesn't necessarily mean we're going up and we're going to stop this trade out. It's something that, okay, right, maybe we come out, stop some of them out, okay, and then we get a continuation lower. Maybe we don't even. Maybe we just see a bit of a pullback, right? It's not. Yeah, again, it's not something that is worrying me, okay, but yeah, it's just something to be aware of, right? Yeah, all good. Just thank you for letting me know. Thank you. I don't. Again, I don't believe I've never had anyone comment on that before. So yeah, I hope this is not a regular occurrence. But yeah, like I said, I'll try and sort it out. I'll do some tests and I'll try and sort it out. Make sure tomorrow, slightly laggy, but not the end of the world. Yeah, sorry about that. I will. Yeah, again, I do live in the middle of nowhere. I do live in the middle of nowhere, so the Wi-Fi isn't great. I got the Elon Musk Starlink Wi-Fi. It's been pretty good. But it's still not here in the UK. We have fiber. I don't know if from wherever you. I know people here from all sorts of all sorts of parts of the world. So yeah, here in the UK we have fiber Wi-Fi, which I do not have access to here because again I am in the sticks. I don't have access to that. Not really a city person personally, but yeah, I've got Starlink. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, but yes, it's not as good as fiber. So yeah, I'll probably leave that there if it's lagging a little bit because that's just a little bit annoying. So yeah, I will leave that there. I will leave you on. I am short, kind of looking for lower prices here. And then, of course, from lower prices, we'll look for a long trade. So, yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some value off of this. And yeah, of course, I will see you in the next live stream, which will be tomorrow. Of course, any Visionary members, I will see you over on the Discord. If you do want access to this Discord, it is the first link in the description. That, of course, is the paid Discord. And then the second link is the free Discord. So, yeah, if you want to get yourself on there, that's where it is. So yeah, I hope you guys have a lovely rest of your day. I am gonna go get myself some dinner now. It's very late, but yeah, I'm gonna go get myself some dinner. And yeah, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a lovely rest of your day, and see you later. Goodbye.
Take me home, 'cause I wanna feel like I belong. They relate to all this pain in my past, so they listen